Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to another Yellow Yaps. I planned this video for a while. I wanted to do a similar video for Conjoined Life, but I just ran out of the motivation to record one. But the goal here, I'm just gonna, instead of doing Bed Wars this time, because Bed Wars distracts me too much, I'm doing some parkour. And the goal here is to just talk about Rate Life. This will probably be the last time I use this purple skin as well, so I'm gonna retire that. Yeah. So the first thing I'd like to address with the whole series is the lore at the end of my finale video, session 8. Because it has to do with the YEnder Lore, which was probably one of the most let's see how to say this. By far, probably the most famous dynamic of the series, considering it's I think the only time in which we've gotten fan art in Mega Life. So, shout out to Clover. But basically, what the ending thing there meant with the whole erasing memories, memory erasure program, whatever I called it. I forgot what I called it in the moment. But that was basically just Spot. Oh, I dead named myself. That's interesting. That was basically just Yellow agreeing to erase half of his memories. So if you'll notice from my other skins, I don't know if I have an example of it right now. I do not, unfortunately. Okay, so I can't bring up an example, but my dark green skin, lime skin, and I think my yellow and orange skins for the series as well, all were half robot, half human. So basically, Yellow at the end of the series erased half of his memories. So he'll still remember stuff like who the players are. So he's not going to go into next season oh, who's Ender, who's Kaya. He's going to know those people, but what he has forgotten is basically anything in relation to the YEnder Lore. So any family dynamics, any drama that came out of that, all of that, he's basically forgotten it at this point. So going to season 6, he's not going to remember. Lots of reasons for this. My main reason was because the YEnder Lore was causing me and Ender to have too much scripted drama. It felt too scripted for a life series. I didn't want to deal with it. It felt like we were essentially forced to be enemies the whole time. I think it was in episode 3, which I'll discuss a bit later, but it was in episode 3 where I betrayed Ender for seemingly no reason, purely just for lore reasons. And in hindsight, I kind of wish I didn't do that. I don't really want the lore to affect the actual gameplay of the series, and oh my god, and it has started doing that a lot recently. So that was the main reason for me doing the whole memory erasure program, kind of erasing the Ender lore. Obviously, Ender's character in lore would still remember everything, so if we ever wanted to, we could bring it back up. But for now, that's going to be buried underground for presumably at least season 6 of Mega Life. Presumably for at least season 6, we're not going to have anything to do with the Ender lore. Another reason for this is because me and Ender are most likely teaming for season 6. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but we probably are going to be teaming in season 6. And it's just going to be really awkward to have to deal with the lore at the same time as being teamed with someone. And the only way that's going to work out is our team falls apart and then one of us betrays the other. And I honestly just don't want to deal with that. So we're not going to. That's why I'm kind of racing the lore. I haven't really talked to Ender on whether he agrees with that decision or not, but I don't assume he's going to have any objections because he's also seemed a bit confused about it. There's also just random moments in Rate Life where Ender betrayed me, and I don't know if he betrayed me because he genuinely wanted to, or if he also felt the sort of pressure to betray because of the lore. But yeah, that's basically the plans with that. And yeah, that's my little ramble on about the what just happened. Okay, that's my little ramble about the YEnder Lore. Moving forward, the rest of the series, I think the best place to start would be right before the series started. So like, oh, there you go. Okay, perfect timing as well. I just started the next section of the video. Okay. Let me like go to the next one. Okay. So the second part I wanted to discuss, the lead up to Rate Life. So I won Conjoined Life. Obviously, that's pretty well known at this point. And in the lead up to Rate Life, I think the cast did expand quite a bit. I know we lost some people. I know like Kaya dropped out. I know Lucky and Evan were gone. But like we did have quite a few more people going into this next season. Obviously, Rate Life had a lot of attendance issues. Like I feel like there were just too many people that signed up that didn't actually want to attend the sessions at all, which was just strange. Always hate it when people do that. But yeah, so we had a few attendance issues here and there. Unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? And then going into the finale drama in Conjoined Life with how the series turned out, in case anyone doesn't remember or didn't get it from my video. Essentially, me and the Sleepover Peeps plus Ender, we kind of formed like a team to go kill Danger and Vegito because they had aggravated us earlier in the series. And the drama for that is probably what I'd say led to Danger getting banned in Session 1 of Rate Life. I'm not going to linger too much on that subject because I think it's going to bring up more drama than it needs to. That hatch has been buried. I'm going to let it be buried. But yeah, so there were multiple bans, people getting kicked. But yeah, that's all I have to say really for like the lead into it. I don't think anything else interesting happened. Because I think the gap was like what, maybe a week, 2 weeks maximum. It wasn't even that big of a gap. It was like a very short gap. So I'm not surprised there's not a lot to say about it. But anyway, right, no, it was 2 week gap because Yellow's Nice Life was 2 sessions and it happened in between Conjoined Life and Rate Life. I remember this now. But anyway, session 1. Yeah, let's start with session 1. Actually, I'm gonna do session 1 and session 7 at the same time because they're both sessions I didn't upload. The reasoning for both was kind of the same, and that was that neither of them happened on a Friday, and Friday's probably one of the only days I can actually record. So let me get my cat inside the room real quick. Cat interrupting the recording. Anyway, but yeah, Friday's probably the best day for me recording wise. So I didn't participate in session 7 at all. Like I missed the entire session, and that's why I was glitched in the finale. Well, I mean everyone was set to glitch, but that's a discussion for later on in the video. But yes, where was I? My brain's lagging a bit. Sorry, guys. Something to do with the session. Right. Okay. So session 1, I was there. I had some footage for it, but I honestly just didn't feel like posting or editing or anything, so I didn't. But I did have footage at some point. Honestly, nothing happened in session 1. It was really just me underground mining for most of it. I didn't die at all, so just literally nothing happened. There was no reason for me to post it. It was the session that I had decided to team with Dusty and Banana, which overall, yeah, let's stress that. The Dusty and Banana team didn't work out too well in the grand scheme of things. I blame this mostly on attendance issues again, because I feel like I don't think all 3 of us were all together in one session aside from session 1. Like ever since session 1, at least one of us would be missing every time, so our team was just kind of doomed from the start. Oh, dude. So our team was kind of doomed from the start with that. But yeah, me and Dusty did end up kind of joining together. I think in like session 6. We were talking a lot together in sessions before that, but we never did anything as a team until session 6, where I started like gearing him up and planned to get him some kills and stuff. But it ultimately didn't work out because he fell into a slack my trap and his series ended. Oh, nice! I did. And the series just ended after that. So we didn't really get the chance to do a proper team. So that team was kind of doomed. Session 7, I wasn't there. I think Echo had like a final death, but it got refunded, so there's not much more point to talk about that one. As far as I know, it was a nothing session. Yeah, let's talk session 2. So session 2 was the 2-minute, I think it was like a 2-minute montage video, because I was a goof and I didn't record the audio properly. So we just got that weird thing where just music in the background and stuff was going. Session 2 was probably, honestly, the worst session for me, I feel. My teammates were absent and I was struggling to transport this parrot. You'll see it in the session 2 montage as well. You see me like being so frustrated that I just killed the parrot. But yeah, the parrot was very crucial to my session 1, session 2 POVs, which neither of them came out properly. So the legacy of the parrot will always remain unknown to the world. But yes, the parrot was a very important plot point. I considered being a pirate at one point. It never came to fruition because I killed the parrot, but you know. So that there was out there. Pirate Spot could have been a thing. Pirate Spot. I keep dead naming myself. This is a problem. Pirate Yellow could have been a thing. I'm gonna get so many people questioning why I keep calling myself Spot now, and then when you explain the dead name. Okay. Right. So Yellow, not Spot. Gonna stop saying Spot. Then session 3. Session 3 was interesting, I think. Well, let me double check. Session 3 was Murder at the Wedding. Yes. So that was the wedding episode where Ender and Indy got married, and I was pastor for some reason. So that happened. I was also Boogie that session, and as I mentioned previously, with like the lore kind of nudging us towards killing each other, I did try killing Ender. I think I ended up getting my kill on Strawberry instead, but like I did try at Ender because I wanted him gone. Oh yes, cat's calling again. So there was that. I think Creeper also, that was my first death in the series where Creeper jumped me, killed me. That was kind of rude out of nowhere. He ended up doing that a lot in the whole series, honestly. I'm surprised I didn't ever like decide, hey, I should go fight Creeper. Creeper was surprisingly relevant to my POVs. I was surprised how many times his name got dropped in my POV. Like I think I said his name at least like 3 times every episode, which was surprising considering some people I didn't mention at all. Like I think I mentioned Hawk like a grand total of 1 time my whole series. And that was like when he was final dying. But anyway, moving forward from session 3, there was session 4. Actions have consequences. And actually, I'm gonna pull up the Discord real quick. The Discord doesn't exist anymore. So I'm not gonna pull up the Discord. But if I recall correctly, session 4 was the no, was it session 5? It might have been session 5. Let me pull up my POVs real quick. It was session 4, I believe, where Ender was being hunted down by the entire server. So that was definitely an interesting sight to see. Just him getting absolutely crushed by half the server. Let me just see if I can pull that up. Open link. Let's see. Yes, it was session 4. Session 4. And this was the moment I was referring to earlier when I was talking about the YEnder Lore, where I betrayed Ender for no reason. So it was in this session where I was just, I don't really know what I was thinking in the moment, but basically, Ender was like, "Hey, what if we did like a last two dark green last stand thing?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah, tell me where you are." And then I leaked his coordinates to all of the yellow or green or whatever the color was. So I just leaked his coordinates. In hindsight, I do kind of wish I didn't leak his coordinates and instead took the team offer there. But you know, what's done is done. Another reason why I'm putting it into lore. Anyway, but either way, I remember because I wanted to become more friends with Creeper's team, so I betrayed Ender. But all that came back to bite me when Creeper misunderstood what was happening and then assumed I was double agenting, and then he killed me twice without letting me explain. But yeah, it happens. So I'm not gonna make a big deal of it, dude. I'm failing these jumps left, right, and center. Anyway, session 5. Okay, session 5 was a good session if I recall correctly. Trust no one. Yes, that was honestly a decent session. I honestly liked the session. I think the session might have been one of my favorites. So this was the session where I lost quite a lot of charge, if I recall correctly. I think I lost like 30% this session. Let me check it. I started the session on 75 and I ended on 47. So yeah, I lost like a good 30% this whole session. Honestly, that session had just a lot of fun bits that I liked. There was one point where I was like making kind of guess who the boogie is board, and I was trying to piece together who the boogie was. And I was like putting all the options together and wondering, okay, is it this person? Is this person? I think in the end, I guessed it was Creeper, but it was actually a bug, and it was Hawk, I think. So there was a bug with the coding, which means Hawk didn't actually know he was Boogie. But I guess Creeper, I guess wrong. But you know, the small like Sherlock Holmes bit was nice to do. I think I also hung out with Ender quite a bit this session. Like we had like a nice moment building. We were placing like wood planks across the river, so that was fun. I think I got jumped by like Vegito and got Boogie killed by Splatty. I was helping him trying to find a kill, and then he decided to kill me because I was right there. Probably not the smartest idea to help out the Boogie, but oh well. Screw me for being kind, I guess. No beef, of course, for the record. Again, I should probably say this now. I might put this at the start of the video, but everything I say here, no beef. Obviously, it's just a game. No one cares. If you do care, you probably shouldn't care. If you do care, stop caring. It's not that deep. It's just a game. But yeah. Overall, I did like session 5. Is there anything else I can comment on here? Right. There was the small moment of me and Ender having a heart-to-heart at like the first 10-ish minutes of the video. That heart-to-heart went nowhere because he ended up betraying me at the end of it. But again, I'm wondering, I never really asked him, but I'm wondering if he felt the need to betray because of the lore thing, or if he just betrayed because Splatty needed a kill. I don't know. I'll have to ask him that. I'm kind of curious. But aside from that, nothing really happened. The session was the session where we actually got like a visible "You are the boogeyman" popping up on the screen, so that was nice to see. And it was also the first session that I did the lore with the IKEA building that Andy built. Oh, Andy. Yeah, that's another thing I gotta address. So, Andy, this was also the session I think where Andy dropped out. He dropped out like right before the session, end of session 4. He dropped out of the series. Technically, our second final death. I forgot to mention. I completely skipped over Indy final dying. Yeah, he final died to Ender after they got hitched. So like, let that be a lesson. Both people that went with Ender got murdered. I'm just saying, pointing out these the similarities there. But yeah, he unlike Danger, his reason for leaving was more public, so I think I can explain it. He was just sort of not happy with the way the series was running. I think some of the things he said was fair when he left. And you know, honestly, I think Rate Life as a whole was probably like a big learning experience on how to host a series, and hoping we can take that and make season 6 a really good season. Because honestly, we learned a lot from Rate Life. I think one of the main things we learned is no strength pots. Strength pots absolutely tore through the finale. There were like 5 final deaths back to back in the finale just because strength pots were so powerful. So that's one thing I think we learned. Probably season 6 most likely will not have strength pots legal. We are also going to invites only for season 6, which, is a decision. I don't know how in favor I am of it and how against it I am. I just know it's a decision, and we're gonna see how it goes. It might turn out really well. I honestly think it will turn out really well, because most people in the series right now really do like talking to each other. So hopefully season 6 will be really good. That's gonna happen in the summertime. Do I have any important notes for session 6? Session 6 was like Eve. Session 6 was basically, honestly, Session 6 was Session 5, but worse, I think. My least favorite death I've ever had in a series was the one where Ender knocked me in a hole after telling me he wasn't the boogeyman. That he couldn't be the boogeyman. I was told he couldn't be the boogeyman by code, and he was the boogeyman. I will forever hold that against him. But, not actually, again. Jokes. We're joking. But yeah, honestly, I didn't really like the session too much. It was just me getting whacked a bunch of times. I think it was the session that I officially joined up with Aaron, and I think we got Echo a few times there, which was probably the best we'd done as a team. I should also address, me and Aaron talked a lot more in the series than me and Dusty did, so when Dusty final died, I was like, yeah, I should probably go team with Aaron, because we had been quite good friends. Then going to session 8 and 7, the finale 2 sessions, kind of, whatever you want to call it. Originally, what was going to happen was I was put down in my glitched life for missing session 7. So in session 8, I was going to rally all the glitched players, and we were going to hunt down the players that still had charged. Left. We were going to call it Operation Robin Hood, and it was going to be a whole thing, and it was going to be really cool. It didn't end up happening, because we decided we wanted to just end the series, because most of us were tired of playing it. A lot of us just wanted the series to end. So we sped around it by saying everyone was said to glitched, and I feel like there was some compensation that was given to players who still had charge. I think they got like an extra 1 or 2 hearts. I forget what it was. But we did end up deciding to speedrun the series. I'm honestly in support of the decision. I know it made for kind of a scuffed ending there, but I feel like the series had gone on long enough at that point, to the point where I really didn't care if we were going to get a scuffed ending. I just kind of wanted the series over. And then the actual finale itself was rough. I personally quite liked almost every single session of the series. I think every single session of the series was great. I think the finale was okay. There were 2 things that I think kind of did the finale in. And honestly, the main thing that I think went wrong in the finale was strength bots, as mentioned earlier. They're just too powerful. The 2 tap was too powerful. I think there were like 5 people that got jumped as soon as like the grace period on the finale turned off. So like, it just wasn't fun because too many people just died. That being said, the top 5 fight that we did, I'm really happy with that fight. That fight was nice. I'm not happy with my performance, obviously, because I think I died while I was in my inventory. Because I'm an idiot. But I liked my editing on the fight. I think the editing was cool. I think the way that I put Aaron at the end with the win was cool. I liked the music at the end. I liked the lore at the end. I really enjoyed editing the finale, and I to some extent enjoyed playing it. I edited around it, but there was a point in the finale where the whole server got deleted and stuff was getting stressed out, and people were like, "All right, this is the end. We're just not going to finish the series properly." So me and the rest of the top 5 of the servers were like, "Well, we want to end the series in some way, so we were going to make a separate world and then just do a 1v1 duel on that world." But then Ender got the server back up. And we did a 1v1 on the actual server, which honestly turned out better than it would have if we did it on a separate server. I'm happy Aaron won because he's a teammate. Obviously, I'm very happy he won. I can't make that jump, can I? Let's see. What else am I semi-happy about? I think that's really it. I guess I could talk about how frustrated I was when Ender final died. That silly guy dying in a stupid hole like Dusty did, and throwing off the whole thing we had planned for the finale, because we were gonna do lore and stuff, and then he died in a hole. But then again, it's a life series. It's not meant to be scripted. Stuff like that's gonna be happening, and honestly, I feel like that's probably the most life series thing we could have is a story being thrown off because someone died to something stupid. I think he lagged or something. I don't really know. I wasn't paying attention. He said something about lagging, I believe. But point is, he died in not even a fight, and it was very unfortunate. But honestly, it felt like a very life series death to just have a storyline be interrupted because there's no script. So overall, it was nice. I did have an overlay of some audio of us talking during his death sequence that I made. But I was playing a song in the background and hadn't realized that the mic was picking up that song. So that part of the video got like striked for copyright, so I had to mute the entire section. And I noticed that like right before the video was going up too, so I didn't have time to go back and fix it. So like, I just needed it out at that point. Yeah, I think that's really all I have to say for Rate Life as a whole. I enjoyed the series. It had its ups and downs. I think I had some scuffed deaths. You know, I had like a spawn kill in session 3. There was the weird boogie kill, but I think I had some nice moments as well with like the boogie board in session 5. I just jumped off that way. Wow. You know, some of the Ender moments were nice. Not a lot of them though, hence why we're kind of putting a pin on the lore for now. Yeah, and honestly, I gotta say, I'm excited for season 6. Season 6 is shaping up to be a lot better of a season than season 5 was. I'm hoping we can have a lot less drama going into season 5, and that we won't have to deal with like people not showing up, or people dropping out, or people causing problems. Hopefully, none of that happens going into season 6. And yeah, that's probably all I have to say for Rate Life. We will probably not be seeing any more Rate Life content. I'm gonna try not to milk this series to death. Even though, you know, I think I could just continue making Rate Life vids for the rest of my channel. We just keep talking about Rate Life. Because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot I haven't mentioned even in this video. But the point of Yellow Yaps is I yap, and then anything I cover in the video means it was important to me because it's the only thing I remembered to bring up. There's also a lot of times where, like, after a Yellow Yaps video, I'll be like, oh, I should have brought that up. But if I didn't bring it up, that means it wasn't important enough to bring up. Anyway, this video is almost 30 minutes long, so I'm calling it there. Please ignore my horrendous parkour skills, and I'll see you guys next video. whenever that'll be.